Welcome to Sell Your Business for Millions. I'm your host, Eric Gilboord, and today we're going to be talking about the golden handshake, why being the smartest person in the room is actually killing your valuation. So let's look at the hard truth. Think about your business for a second. Close your eyes, that is, if you aren't driving. If you decided to go off the grid for 30 days, that's no cell service, no Wi Fi, just you on a remote beach. What happens back at the office? Do the wheels stay on? Does the revenue keep flowing? Or does the whole thing grind to a screeching halt the moment your out of office reply goes live? If you're being honest with yourself, and the answer is the place would burn down, which I've heard many times from owners, then I've got some tough love for you. You don't own a business, you own a high paying, incredibly high stress job. And here's the kicker: nobody wants to buy your job, or at least very few people. When a buyer looks at your company, they aren't looking to buy your personal genius. They aren't buying your 80-hour work weeks or your ability to put out fires better than anyone else. They are buying a machine. If you are the machine, the transmission, and the driver all at once, a buyer sees a massive, terrifying risk. Here's what they think: if I buy this and this founder leaves, I'm left holding a pile of expensive bricks. Today, we're diving into the golden handshake trap. We're going to talk about why being the smartest person in your building is actually slashing your valuation by millions, and more importantly, how you can start firing yourself today so you can actually get paid tomorrow when you sell your business. Here's the ego versus the exit. Let's talk about why we get stuck in this trap. As founders, we love feeling needed. There's a hit of dopamine that comes when a staff member sticks their head in your office and says, "Hey, Bob, only you know how to handle this client." Or, "We can't sign this deal without your final eyes on it, Jack." Sound familiar? If it feels good, right, it feels like you're the MVP. But in the world of M&A or mergers and acquisitions, your ego is literally a line item expense. Every time a client calls your personal cell phone, instead of your account manager, your valuation drops another notch. Why, you're asking? Because a buyer wants predictability. They want to know that the business creates profit through a process, not through a person. If the magic is in your head, the buyer can't scale it, they can't replicate it. You have to make a choice. Do you want to be the main character of a small story or the architect of a valuable one? To get that $4 million plus exit, you have to transition from being the doer to the designer. You have to stop working in the business so you can work on the asset. If your business depends on your magic touch, you've built a prison with a nice logo on the front. Here's the three deep rule and standard operating procedures. So, how do we fix it? We start with something I call the three deep rule. Take a look at every critical function in your company: that's sales, fulfillment, billing, tech support. For every one of those roles, there should be three people who know exactly how to do it, and none of them should be named Bob. That is yourself. This starts with documentation. I know, SOP, standard operating procedure, the most boring acronym in business. It sounds like corporate homework, but look at it this way: every SOP you write is a brick in the wall of your $4 million fortress. So here's your tactical exercise for this week. Open your calendar, look at everything you did more than twice. If you did it twice, it's a fluke. If you did it three times, it's a process. Record yourself doing it. Use a tool like Loom to capture your screen, or just record a voice memo of you explaining the steps, or even just write it down. Hand that recording or note to an assistant or a team member and say, "Turn this into a checklist." If it's in your head, it's worth zero. If it's a checklist that a 22-year-old new hire can follow to get a B plus result, it's an asset. Buyers love checklists. Checklists don't get sick. Checklists don't ask for a raise. And checklists represent a business that can grow without the founder's shadow looming over every desk. So, part four, the power of decision dollars. Now I hear you. You're saying, but Eric, my team isn't ready. They don't have my intuition. They'll make mistakes. Yes, they will. And you have to let them. That's all there is to it. You just have to let them make mistakes. You need to start giving your team what I call decision dollars. This is how you build a management layer without spending 200,000 on a COO right away. Tell your frontline manager they have a $500 budget. If a customer is upset or a vendor has an issue, you solve it. Don't call me, don't email me. Use your best judgment up to $500. Then next month, assuming everything's working well, move it to $1,000, then maybe $5,000. What you're doing is training their ownership muscle. You're teaching them to stop looking at you for permission and start looking at the business for solutions. When a buyer walks through your office and sees a team making smart, profitable decisions while you're sitting in the break room drinking coffee, they don't see a lazy founder. They see a turnkey investment. That is where the 5x and 6x multiples live. They aren't paying for your sweat, they're paying for your systems. Here's a 30-day test. So here is your homework, and I want you to actually do this, not just nod along while you're at the gym or in your car. Pick a Friday, any Friday in the next 3 weeks, not, 6 months from now, but in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Don't announce it to anybody. Don't put it on the shared calendar. Just don't show up. Turn off your Slack notifications, your emails. Put your phone in a drawer. On Monday morning, come back and see what broke. Don't get angry that it broke, get excited. Whatever broke is your roadmap. Those broken spots are exactly where you are still the bottleneck. That's right, you're the bottleneck. Those are the areas you need to document, delegate, and disappear from next. Remember, the goal of this journey isn't to be the MVP of the team, it's to be the owner of the stadium, or at least the owner of the team. In the next episode, we're going to get into the gritty world of EBITDA. I'm going to show you why two companies with the exact same profit can have wildly different price tags and how to find the hidden value drivers that most accountants miss. I'm Eric Gilboord, and this is Sell Your Business for Millions. I'll see you on the next episode.